Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
Time for a little local sports roundup. We've got sports director, Sports Scene 13, Justus Cleveland joining us, and high school football season is set to begin, Justus.
Football season begins, and, we already have, tennis matches starting up this week. I know soccer and volleyball, and I'm probably forgetting something else that startup swimming's going on this week, too. So, everything.
Cross country.
Thank you. Yep. I'm sorry, cross country folks out there and whoever else I'm probably forgetting off the top of my head. But, the busy time for not only us, but those student athletes getting back at it now, too.
Yep, exactly. So, obviously, football's a big one. 11-man football. We know 8-man starts the week later, right? So, games start a week later.
They're just starting their practice
Last week.
Thank you.
Scrimmage, I think.
Scrimmages, yes. I saw a couple of those on the schedule there.
Yep. So we had a lot of scrimmages on Friday, I know, for a lot of teams there, whether it was Menominee welcoming Regis over there, and I know Chippewa had North over with their scrimmage and such, which is kind of weird to say because of the changes in the division and such. So, but man, oh man, what you got games starting this week here. Was it because Regis plays Thursday, right? Is that correct? Or?
Regis is Friday.
They're
at Turtle Lake on Friday.
Okay.
They make the road trip up there, and then I got the whole list right here.
Look at that. Yeah.
Thursday you've got Spass versus Chi-Hi. Good matchup to start the season there. And, one that we'll see more. You can get these. Now that it's the Valley and Big Rivers together, you get Spash and Chi-Hi to start it off. Rice Lake, DC Everest, another good one. Rice Lake back in the Big Rivers. Mm-hmm. So they start off against a DC Everest squad that's, I've seen, just knowing from friends out there, it's looking pretty tough. So that'll be a good one. Menominee and Eau Claire North. I mean, now with the switch there, you're getting first week one matchups of old rivalry games right there. And then to start the season,
and Eau Claire North took a nice jump last year, right?
With
they
have been.
Yeah.
Yes, and again, they've made the steps every year, adding another win, and for a team that had the longest losing streak in the state at one time. Yeah, this is it's nice to see that rise slowly. That's a tough test though against Mike Sinn's Menominee squad right out of the gate. That one at Carson Park on Thursday. And then just a couple more. Glenwood City, Aleva Strum. Glenwood City usually is tough, so Aleva Strum's rebuilding. Bangor, Melmin as well. Logan Ellsworth, and then River Falls, Wisconsin Rapids, and New Richmond and Marshfield. So, a good start to the season right there with the football games. That'll be on just Thursday night only.
Right. Wow. Man, it's going to be a busy Thursday night. So, and then Friday, what we got, I'm assuming Memorial in action?
Memorial's at Hudson, so that'll be Westcott's first game action. It'll be another
tough one.
Think about North Memorial going up against Hudson and Menominee to start their seasons. Those are right out of the gate. You're going to find out where you're at. So, Augusta Cadott, Stanley Boyd, Colby.
That's going to be. I know Brandon kind of talked a little bit about that on Friday. A little rivalry renewed. With those two.
Stanley Boyd turning a lot of great players. An offense that Koenig had just going well. The defense was they kind of sputtered at times last year, but I think that team's going to be really tough this year. Mm-hmm. Another old rivalry game, Altoona Fall Creek. Oh yeah. And they usually kind of start out the season there. So now Altoona in the middle border, Fall Creek in the Clover Belt. So new head coach for Fall Creek as well.
Yeah.
So,
Marcus over there?
Yep. New Lisbon, Neilsville, Granton, Bloomer, Somerset. Then I got the Regis Turtle Lake, and going down to Colfax, Whitehall, Elk Mound, Spooner. A lot of road games for the teams in our area. Mondovi GET, that one should be a fun one to watch. Yeah. Greg Loscheider always brings the energy. That Mondovi team, they lost a lot of key players, but they still got a lot of good ones left from last year. That was a co-conference champion there. So going off to GET, which had a decent season last year too, and then Spring Valley, Arkansas. And I apologize, Boyceville, Indy Gilmanton, EPC, Alma Pepin. I just want to make sure no one's mad at me. CFC Brookwood. So if there's anybody else, Baldwin, Woodville, Mount Horeb, Prescott, Northwestern. And there are a ton of games out there. And I apologize if I forgot your team, but I went through as many. Here it is. There's I have an extra little list there. Mauston, St. Croix Central, Barron, Cameron, Cumberland, Chautauqua, Edgar, Ladysmith, Hayward, Lakeland Union, and Unity St. Croix Falls, just to name a few games that will be going on Friday night.
Man, so it'll fish, and then it just gets busier next week with all the 8-man teams in there too.
Yes, throw the 8-man in there, and then we'll have volleyball will be starting up during that week, and it's fun. It is. It's a lot of fun, and if week one, a lot of unknowns.
Mm-hmm.
You have these teams that you kind of pencil in as ones that are going to be good, but somebody's going to come out and surprise us, and that's really what is so fun to see, where these teams can progress from and how they're doing, and we'll find out right away here.
Yeah. And I know college-wise, Blue Golds have a couple weeks left coming, but they started practice, it looked like, last week too, and saw a new facility getting some work in there.
That was like perfect,
cool, right?
Mother Nature opened up the skies, so they had to go practice in the new field house at the Sonantag Center. That thing's pretty. I've yet to see it with my own eyes, but every piece of videotape that I've seen and every picture I've seen, it is just spectacular and amazing to have that right here in Eau Claire. That really is going to be a game changer for that team. I think if you're a college recruit and you see that facility, your eyes are going to be wide open. I mean, it looks as good as the Hudson Center in Green Bay.
Yeah.
If not better, because, the Hudson Center's already 30 years old.
Mid-90s, right?
Yeah. That was when I was in high school, so it's still a great facility. I'm not going to knock it that way. But to have that right here, that's going to be big. And like I said, I think you're going to see maybe some pro or college teams, if they're playing like the Vikings, try to line up to use, or not the college teams, you get what I'm saying. But if you're playing the Gophers, why wouldn't you try to line up in that indoor center and say, hey, can we rent this out for a practice or two while we're getting ready to play somebody?
Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but I'm just saying, you've seen it before where teams travel and practice somewhere near with the team they're playing. Why not there? If you have a chance to do it, go for it. So great addition to this community.
Yeah. Concordia College is first up on that's not till September 7th, but I'm excited to see the new second year get underway.
I think Rob Erickson has lit a fire under this program. Just if it's not just from the players that are there, it's really going out there and showing how much they're recruiting, showing the recruits that they're getting, being really open with the guys that they have coming in. I think, was it 40% or 40 men? Something like that. That's the roster that they have that are coming in. That's already paying dividends having that new facility. And, Simpson Field just keeps getting bigger and better. And, so to me, this is going to be a fun year to watch and see where you got some veterans and some key positions on that team, and you've had a year to work with Erickson and his staff. Good luck to them. I think it's going to be fun to see.
Absolutely. So, and I know this week too, actually, you got soccer that's going to get off with the Blue Golds. They're going to be next. I know volleyball's got a little scrimmage. I shouldn't say a little scrimmage, but a scrimmage coming up this week too. So, Blue Gold Sports is getting underway here.
Yeah, everybody's getting back to campus and getting raring to go.
Right. So, with that too, we've got I was just going to say recapping Northwoods League, but it's been kind of a couple weeks now already here too. But man, what a run!
They made a
to
run.
The Express.
I give them such credit. That team made a run for the playoffs and just end up a game short. It's a little heartbreaking, but. Man, there was a lot of memories from that season. That more home runs that I've seen in the Northwoods League in my 14 years here. 15, that would have been my 15th season,
right?
Or 15 years because COVID. Anyways, but that run to turn it around in the second half. That's what you love to see about the Northwoods League. You get that second chance, and they took advantage. And it's so funny to watch what lacrosse did, winning the first half title. And then the second half just kind of took it easy, then got into playoffs. And didn't look like they, didn't miss a step. So
right, yep,
yeah. So it was a fun season. You got to go back to as well to the you got the Babe Ruth team making a run, and then of course the Legion team, just one game short of going to nationals as well.
Yep,
and just fun every year in year out. Those teams are just built and do such a great job. And baseball in this area is very healthy, and there's a lot of facilities for people to keep going year round, and that's the fun thing, is that it's just going to keep getting better. You throw in the CRBL, Wisconsin State League, and all the great play that we have from the local teams too. It's been a good summer for baseball in Eau Claire in the area.
Oh, you mentioned our good friend Mark. He actually just texted a couple minutes ago. He said he was going to message you, but at the North game Thursday. He says they're going to be celebrating their 1974 BRC Conference Championship team, the first in North High history, 50 years ago. Can't believe I'm that old. So, hey, Robin Yount's rookie debut, they celebrate 50 years ago yesterday, too. So there you go, Mark.
You're not old, Mark. Come on.
You're just like young. You're like the kid, Robin Yount. There you go. right?
It keeps you young being around all those kids, right?
Yeah, exactly.
One of the two. Either it makes you feel young or it makes you feel old right away. But, yeah, I saw that. That's awesome. Unfortunately, I don't think we have that in the old tape archive. That would be the film archive, honestly. But,
right.
Yeah, we will be there, and we'll talk to some of those players from 50 years. That's awesome to be able to get those guys together and celebrate that as, with those new, something we didn't mention with those teams in the area now, too, is both Memorial and North are going to have those turf practice fields.
That's right. Yep.
The one over at Memorial, because I'm by that one all the time. I mean, to see a press box.
I was going to say the bleachers look like they're finishing up those on that side, too, with the press box up there.
And that's a boom not only for them, but soccer teams as well. That'll be able to play under the lights.
Yep.
Which, it's track and field meets. You won't have to – Mother Nature won't be ending your track and field meets early because you're going to have lights there. So another great addition to the area sports facilities.
Yep, definitely. Absolutely. So good stuff all across with our local sports, and it's just going to – get a little
tip
bit
of the
more
iceberg
busier
right now.
Yep, exactly. So just to kind of wrap it up for the local side of things, when it comes to, say BRC, Big Rivers Conference football, I mean, such the difference now with everything in there. Is that where, do you think it's almost kind of an unknown who could be the leaders within this division right now just because of all the changes? And, I mean, first game just coming up here. Like, I don't want to get too into, like, predictions or anything like that, but it's like, does that throw a wrench into a little bit of the unknown because you got other teams coming into this thing too?
I think so. I think it's good. I mean, it is going to be a dogfight with those the now what are the Big Rivers teams.
Right.
The regular was not with North and Memorial over in the Valley. It's still the Valley. I mean, we can call it what we want. It's still the Valley. For them, I think that benefits them. Going over into that conference, I think going to the Valley gives them a shot because I don't want to go and say they're not as strong, but I mean. Think of the teams that you had in the Big Rivers last year. You've got your Menominee that's going to be stacked. You've got your Chi High that played a lot of underclassmen last year and are returning them, so I think they're going to be really tough. New Richmond lost a lot of players, but they were a really tough team last year. River Falls always finds, offensively always seems to have the athletes that can really put up some scores. Hudson is year in, year out. You can't count them out. And, I mean, I don't mean that rhymes. I didn't mean to do that. But you got a Rice Lake team that went to state that's coming into the conference. So who do you go through? Superior's there still, too. Rob Scott going up there to try to revitalize that one. So who do you pick out of that?
Yeah.
That is going to be – I mean, the Big Rivers is going to be tough. Very tough. So those non-conference conference games, however you want to call them, the ones where they play the crossover games with – those are going to be big games.
Yep.
Those really are because – it's going to be a dogfight to the end to see who wins that Big Rivers Conference.
It's going to be a lot of fun, though, too. So, and anxious and nervousness and anxiety.
I think like the Clover Belt's going to be kind of the same way.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those teams are right there on the cusp. And Regis is right there. Stanley Boyd's right there. Elk Mound.
I was going to ask what Regis.
Mondovi. Durand Art. I mean, again, not to leave anybody out, but I mean, those are some. That's a lineup up and down. Bloomer.
Yep.
You throw these teams in there. It shake them up, pull one out because that might be the one that ends up winning it.
I got to, you mentioned Regis there too. I know they brought in Coach Cooper as an assistant on the offensive side. Our friend Dr. Austin Crow is also coaching over there too. That's probably the big one there.
Yeah.
If he's listening right now, some cred there. So helping out the pass rushers over there, going back to his college playing days. So no, I'm excited to get this season going.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns, but I think it's a lot of competitive unknowns where it's just going to be a battle to see who ends up on top in all these conferences.
Yeah.